everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali? Hey, what's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way. Are we too late?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad? Just what is she? Is she also going to disappear?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going.
But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad.
Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler. You know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her. So you do remember her after all.
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Elazar. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sumeru festival with so many regrets.
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but how do we do that?
Although the Sumeru festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find that person?
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream.
Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when a server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food. Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, Everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
Yes. I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far only for Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her. Yeah, saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no? Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control, like Nahida and us. So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Fairest the Night of Flowers is a symbol of the whole Sumeru's festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions, shall we?
You're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard to explain. Would you mind taking part in a little experiment with us?
An experiment? That came out of nowhere. I'm listening, though. What do you need me to do?
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sub-Zero's festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the kids love her. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Fairest Night of Flowers is because I'm special to her, or something.
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious? After what I just said, I guess it is. When she placed the hat of the Night of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy Sub-Zero's festival. What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Night of Flowers for the rest of my life. 50 years, 100 years, I'll serve her till the end of time. Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but that was pretty embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh, you're... Fucky? Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per person. Back home you go. Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her appear right in front of me. As long as she's happy.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her. But none of them has any idea that she...
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps into the kidnappers. Huh? But Dia can handle them. Hey, Traveler! Phew! Go!
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so worked up anyway? It's not like I don't trust your fighting skills. Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup. Suit yourself. You're going down!
That's close enough.
Right here, right now.
Hey, yeah! See?
Emerge, right here.
Boba, get them!
Right now, right here, right now.
Nice and spider! Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first Sub-Zero's festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us the night before the Sub-Zero's festival. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still help us more than this needle in a haystack search. This is the place. It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay, Paimon's gonna take a peek inside. This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside except this book on the table. Should we open it? Wow, Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was always thinking of us even while we were away. Even though she was also busy preparing for the Sub-Zero's festival and had all her health problems to worry about. She must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sub-Zero's festival, right? If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off to now? It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zerus.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single event organizer. The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you exercise tact.
How did things turn out like this? Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage from the academia. I don't want to drag you into this.
Traveler?
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the academia, that's another day gone to waste! Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Bodhisattvas went extinct after her death.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Bodhisattvas in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Patisaras? Just like the ones from the legend? I didn't even notice! Dunyarzad, did you find these?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away? So, Al?
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting weird. But okay, I'll try. Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host! What a surprise! Purple Patisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage. It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Patisaras in the flower pots. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware that they're dreaming. How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of the Sabzeruz festival?
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro Archon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City. So it was about the first sage, huh?
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long. They must be worried." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City and founded the Academia. What a happy ending.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Yes, but his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sabzeruz.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Do you even remember going to sleep last night? Paimon thinks it was after the Sumeru's festival. The Sumeru's festival! Have we finally escaped from the Sumeru Samsara? Quick! Take off your Akasha terminal! She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What usual spot?
Well done, Traveler and Paimon. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sumeru's festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad! You're okay! Oh, don't scare us like that!
Oh, Traveler Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream, and I saw Nilou performing the dance of Sumeru's.
You. Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sumeru's festival. And Dunyarzad, did you save her?
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the Traveler's favorite bench?
Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right.
After we parted on the last day of the Sumeru's festival, I left the city and saw what the Traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible, but it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara.
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end, and not a moment too soon.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky.
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me.
Yeah, so you do know! We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria.
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracies.
Okay, so what does the message mean?
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain.
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one left. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's. Got it. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. I think I may need to rest for a while. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the Sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sumeru's Samsara in the immediate future.
Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us.
What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought we'd wait for you to wake up.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
The fact that he has the time to be writing letters means it's probably nothing serious. It certainly won't be bad news.
Kaya's exaggerating a little, but otherwise I agree. After all, Mika's not the kind of person who'd be able to keep it hidden if something were the matter. The truth would be written all over his face. Over there, look. The kid standing next to Jean in front of the staircase? He used to be a land surveyor in Eula's team. He's very talented in what he does, and a very reliable person. When the expedition team set out, the Grand Master appointed him to be the core member of the frontline team. He's the one that brought back the letter.
Please, may I have your attention, everyone? Now that we're all here, let's begin reading out the letter from the Grand Master. Mika, please, go ahead.
Yes, Master Jean. Right. Hello, everybody. I am Mika, surveyor of the Reconnaissance Company. Recently, I have been taking part in an assignment with the expedition team. I will now be reading Grandmaster Varka's letter aloud for you all. To the Knights of Favonius. Greeting. The first thing I want to say to you all is, please put your minds at ease. The expedition is safe, and all of its members are accounted for.
Oh, that's fantastic news. My palms are sweating.
May I continue?
Go ahead, Mika.
All right. Now that your fears are allayed, I trust you'll be ready to listen to the rest of my letter. I'm writing to you from the northernmost reaches of Tevat by the light of a stove. The expedition forces are stationed here while we restock. I once told you that the purpose of this expedition was related to a dangerous secret from days long past. I am still unable to disclose more than this, but suffice to say that you needn't worry about how our mission is progressing. In the past couple of months, we received an unexpected visitor. The Fatui Harbinger known as the Captain.
The Captain?
I am fully aware of the Fatui's outrageous actions in Mondstadt in recent history. Nevertheless, the Captain was not hostile towards us on this occasion. Open parenthesis. I rather suspect that's because this time, Snezhnaya and we are in the same boat. Close parenthesis. The man hides everything under the mask he wears, so no one can know his past or his origins. However, one thing is for sure. He is as hard as iron for having the courage to challenge gods as an ordinary mortal. I don't doubt that he could even take out a ruin guard by stabbing it in its big, glowing eye with one of Klee's crayons. Open parenthesis, don't get any ideas. Close parenthesis. Our scouts have confirmed that the captain received orders to head for Natlon 3 days ago. We'll be able to sleep much better now that we don't need to worry about him anymore. I will admit that some of his actions have helped us, but even then, he owed us at least that much. This year's Weinlesefest must be kicking off in Mondstadt any day now. What a great pity that this year, once again, we will be unable to spend the festival together. Everyone here is always thinking back fondly upon the fine wines of Mondstadt, as well as the happy times we have spent with each and every one of you. I hope that you and all the citizens of Mondstadt enjoy the festival to the fullest. have a few drinks on our behalf. The Dawn Winery's limited edition Weinlesefest seasonal special will do nicely. May Lord Barbados bless Mondstadt, and may the wind carry our sentiments back to your side. Varka. P.S. If you're wondering who's tougher between me and the captain, well, I'm the Grand Master. There are 10 captains in the Knights of Favonius, but only one Grand Master. Ah ha 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 ha. His left. The letter ends here. Thank you, everyone, for your attention.
Thank you, Mika.
Master Jean, I just noticed that there's something else written on the back of the last page. PPS. I ran out of paper, so I'll add this here. Lisa, the following is a message for you.
Oh, for me?
Seeing that it's a special message, Lisa, we'll discuss this in private. Everyone, as the Grand Master mentioned in his letter, the Weinlesefest is in just a few days. And how fortunate we are at this time to receive word that all is well with the expedition. Though they are unable to return to Mondstadt and spend the festival with us, the Weinlesefest will nonetheless be a major event that all of Mondstadt is looking forward to. I hope that everyone will guard your stations and perform your duties, both for our far-flung colleagues involved in the expedition and also for the hardworking people of Mondstadt. And of course, during your time off, I hope you will be able to rest, relax, and enjoy this long-awaited festival. That brings our meeting to a close. Dismissed.
Did Paimon hear that right? They ran into the Fatui's captain? Who knows what that was about? But it must have been important. But, Fatui Schmatui! The real big deal here is the Weinlesefest. Sounds like there'll be loads of free food and drink. Paimon wants to hear more.
Hey, cuties. How about we go and chat with Jean? You didn't get a chance to say a proper hello with so many people here.
Sounds good. All right, let's go.
Lisa, the Grandmaster's letter is just on the table. Traveler, Paimon, it's been a long time. Apologies, I didn't get the chance to talk with you during the meeting just now. If you don't have any plans in the immediate future, why not stay in Mondstadt for a while? We'll be celebrating the Weinlesefest very soon.
Don't be deceived. Jean may appear very composed, but she's been missing you both terribly recently.
Lisa...
I'll leave you to catch up. I'm going to read my letter.
Yeah, Mondstadt's where our journey began after all. We have a lot of fond memories here. Master Jean, neither of us really knows anything about this Weinlesefest. Could you tell us more about it?
Yes, of course. The Weinlesefest is an ancient Mondstadt festival just like Ludi Harpastum and Windbloom. In addition, it's the most important part of the fall. Each fall, the west wind blows in Mondstadt. Legend has it that the wonderful scent of Mondstadt's winemaking during the harvest season entices even the Animo Archon into attendance, being the great wine lover that he is. No matter where he is, he will transform into a soft breeze and return to his homeland.
Yeah, that sounds like the Animo Archon, all right.
For this reason, Mondstadters call the western wind the returning wind. The Weinlesefest originally began as a celebration to welcome Lord Barbados on his return. In the past, every household would brew fresh wine around this time of year and keep it sealed at least until Windcoming Day during the following year's Weinlese Fest. Uncasking the sealed wine is a symbolic way of inviting the Animo Archon to share a drink. Legend holds that if the Animo Archon is satisfied with the taste of the wine, he will summon a gentle breeze to richly bless the people.
Knowing him, it was probably blessing them with more good wine the next year.
That's a good question. But there's really no way of knowing. These are very old stories. Many of the details have been lost to time.
Yep, that'll happen. Some stories change completely as they get passed down. Hence why these days, Mondstadters will get into endless arguments over what kind of flower a windbloom is.
All part of how cultural heritage is created.
Indeed. But for the time being, at least, the tradition of paying tribute to the Animo Archon on Windcoming Day is still alive and well, and the Weinlese Fest remains a time for Mondstadters to share the joy of the harvest with one another as they partake of fine wines. This is a time of the year when many Mondstadters living away from Mondstadt return to their hometown. For those unable to return, Weinlese Fest is the period when they miss their family and friends most keenly.
Oh, so that's why the Grandmaster wrote, "May the wind carry our sentiments back to your side."
For this year, we've joined forces with the Church of Favonius and the Adventurers Guild to host a celebration on the banks of Cider Lake, just outside of Springvale. There will also be a traditional wine market during the festival period.
Wine market?
Well, originally, it was simply a place where winemakers and farmers would come to trade in raw ingredients for winemaking. These days, it is a much grander affair. Not only will you find a range of choice wines, but seasonal fruit beverages and food items for everyone to enjoy too. A lot of people also sell secondhand goods and handicrafts at the market. The Knights of Favonius plan to use this as an opportunity to do some fundraising for needy children and elderly people in the city.
Wow, sounds pretty cool.
If you have the time, I encourage you to take a look around. I hope you'll find it a worthwhile experience. Now, Lisa, what was the Grand Master's message to you about?
I was just about to bring that up. The Grand Master says he wants me to handle something for him. Something to do with Razor's past.
Razor told us that he was raised by a pack of wolves in Wolvendom. He never knew his parents. In his own words, the wolf pack is his lupical, which means family.
Yes, that was as much as I knew as well. But in his letter, the Grand Master says that in the cabinet above the third bookshelf, to the right of the grandfather clock in Jean's office, there's a wooden box containing some items that Razor's parents left for him. He says it's time to give the box to Razor.
Does this mean the Grand Master knew Razor's parents?
It would seem so. The Grand Master didn't simply run into Razor one day in Wolvendom and teach him how to use a sword. No, the connection between them goes back much further.
Wow! Well, come on! Let's go find Razor! He'll be pretty excited to find out something about his true parents!
Oh, cutie. Nothing escapes your eyes, does it? For the child who never met their biological parents, this kind of conversation is always a difficult one, even for the most well-adjusted. By contrast, Razor grew up in Wolvendom and has had very limited contact with human society. Who knows whether he's ready for this or not?
I'm sure the Grand Master will have given due consideration to Razor's circumstances. Perhaps he felt that now would be the most appropriate time.
That's a good point. Okay, cuties, can I leave you to break the news to Razor? He thinks of me as his teacher, so he might not open up to me if he gets upset. But you are his trusted friends. I think it makes more sense for him to hear about this from you. Thank you, sweetie. Try to be as encouraging as you can. Someone his age needs all the love and support they can get.
kingdom, right? How do you think he'll react after hearing about this?